Okay, here's another YouTube beauty here. It's been a while. It's been a couple weeks since I've talked to YouTube since I've been working second shift. It's been a little harder to record. Um, I'm going to continue with my most interesting people series, and this one is an interesting gentleman by the name of Bill McKibben. Bill McKibben. Now he's known as being an environmentalist. He is what a shaky picture here. Sorry. I saw him on Bill Moyers about 4 weeks ago. He's a very concerned environmentalist. He's about my age. He's about 53. He's an American environmentalist, author, journalist who has written extensively on the impact of global warming. He is the Shaman Distinguished Scholar at Middlebury College. 2010, the Boston Globe called him probably the nation's leading environmentalist, and Time magazine described him as the world's best green journalist. So he comes with some pretty big kudos. Bill McKibben. I tweeted Bill McKibben on my recent YouTube of Mr. Hansen, James Hansen, and he tweeted back saying that my concern was that he wasn't too relevant, and McKibben flashed back and said, no, he's extremely relevant. He's a person to be listened to, James Hansen. In 2009, McKibben led the organization of 350.org, which organized what Foreign Policy magazine called the largest ever global coordinated rally of any kind, with 5,200 simultaneous demonstrations in 181 countries. In 2010, McKibben and 350.org conceived of the 10-10-10 Global Work Party, which convened more than 7,000 events. That was quite an undertaking. He led a massive environmental fight against the proposed Keystone Pipeline project as late as last year. I believe he was arrested for it. Just like Mr. Hansen has been arrested, Bill McKibben has spent 3 days in jail in D.C. as a leader of one of the largest civil disobedience actions in America for decades. And you've got to wonder, if Martin Luther King was alive, he would probably be doing the same thing, these kinds of marches for the environment and so on and so forth. So it's very interesting. He's a really interesting guy, Bill McKibben. He's written some books, I believe, too. His writing, McKibben is frequently a contributor to various publications, including the New York Times, Atlantic, Mother Jones, the American Prospect, the New York Review of Books, National Geographic, Rolling Stone, and Outside. He's also a member and contributor of Grist magazine. Grist magazine, never heard of it. His first book, The End of Nature, was published in 1989 by Random House after being serialized in The New Yorker. It was regarded as the first book about climate change intended for general audience. Has been printed in more than 20 languages. Several editions have come out in the United States, including an updated version published in 2006. His next book, The Age of Missing Information, was published in 1992, an account of an experiment in which McKibben collected everything that he came across the 100 channels of cable TV in Virginia system. For a single day, he spent a year watching 2,400 hours of videotape and compared it to a day spent on a mountaintop near his home. This book has been widely used in colleges and high schools, reissued in 2006. So he's written several books. Another one called Deep Economy, The Wealth of Communities and Durable Futures. It addresses what the author sees as shortcomings of the growth of the economy and visions of transition to more local-scale enterprises. In the fall of '07, he published with the other members of his Step It Up team, Fight Global Warming Now, a handbook for activists trying to organize their local communities. About 4 or 5 years ago came the Bill McKibben Reader, Pieces from an Active Life, a collection of essays spanning his career. Also in 2008, the Library of America published American Earth, an anthology of American environmental writing since Thoreau. Wow. And in 2010, just a couple of years ago, he published another national bestseller, Earth, Making a Life on a Tough New Planet. He's been a contributor to Scientific American. As a matter of fact, part of this book is excerpt in Scientific American. So yeah, a real brave guy, and he's going against the grain with a lot of business people, and they're just very brave to go against the grain like this. But he is one of our true saints, true people that are really believe in a future, and not about himself but about the human race. And it's very rare these days. Very rare. So he's written a ton of articles and great books. He currently resides in Vermont with his wife, writer Sue Halpern. Their only child, a daughter named Sophie, born in New York in 1993. He directs the Middlebury Fellowships in Environmental Journalism. McKibben is also a fellow of the Post-Carbon Institute. McKibben is a longtime Methodist. While his writing can sometimes be spiritual in nature, he bases his environmental views on science and purely science. So there's just a quick view of one of my heroes, and I think it's important to have heroes. Even at the age of 53, Bill is my age, and he is doing so much good for this world. And I'm just so proud of somebody like this who works so hard to maintain this integrity. And he doesn't care about himself, but he cares about others. And we need more people like this. So Bill McKibben, I salute you. You are one of my heroes.